Good evening, I'm Tivon, and this is News Extreme. Tonight's top story: TikTok gets a lifeline. President Donald Trump has once again delayed enforcement of a federal law that would have forced the popular video app to separate from its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, or face a ban in the United States. The app, originally facing a Saturday deadline, now has an extra 75 days, pushing the cutoff into mid-June. This is the second time this year President Trump has postponed the enforcement, even though the law was unanimously upheld by the Supreme Court back in January. In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote, "The deal requires more work. We don't want TikTok to go dark." He also hinted at possibly using TikTok as leverage in trade talks with China. The decision comes amid a renewed wave of U.S.-China tensions, especially after the U.S. imposed 34% tariffs on Chinese imports this week, tariffs that Beijing immediately matched with equal force. While concerns about TikTok's Chinese ownership have persisted for years, citing national security risks and data privacy threats, the app has become deeply woven into American culture, boasting over 170 million U.S. users. The law that could lead to TikTok's ban was passed with broad bipartisan support last year, aiming to limit foreign ownership in key tech platforms. Under the law, companies from foreign adversary nations like China can own no more than 20% of platforms like TikTok. Yet by delaying enforcement, some critics argue the Trump administration is placing politics over policy. ByteDance, for the first time, publicly confirmed it is engaged in negotiations with the U.S. government, saying, "There are key matters to be resolved. Any agreement will be subject to approval under Chinese law." Meanwhile, U.S. investors and tech giants are circling. Amazon has submitted a bid, and private equity powerhouse Blackstone is also showing interest. Talks suggest a potential compromise, allowing U.S. investors in ByteDance to roll their stakes into a new, independent TikTok entity, potentially reducing Chinese control without a full sale. Vice President J.D. Vance, tapped by Trump to oversee the negotiations, recently said a deal was close, but legal experts warn it's still unclear if such an arrangement would meet the requirements of the law or satisfy lawmakers who passed it. Critics argue that the U.S. must enforce its laws consistently, regardless of foreign pressure. Lindsey Gorman, a former tech advisor in the Biden administration, called the delay a major win for China, saying, "This sends the message that American law can be paused if enough pressure is applied from overseas." Big tech isn't off the hook either. Apple and Google temporarily removed TikTok from their app stores earlier this year, before the Justice Department assured them they wouldn't face penalties for carrying the app. Even Akamai Technologies, the U.S. company that helps stream TikTok content to phones, recently updated its risk disclosures, warning that it could still be exposed to legal liability despite the delay. For now, TikTok lives on in the United States, but the clock is ticking, and mid-June may bring a decisive end to one of the most watched tech and trade dramas of our time. Stay with News Extreme as we continue tracking the future of TikTok, U.S.-China relations, and what this means for your digital life. I'm Tivon. Thanks for watching.